What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Caitlin Clark has finally responded to the Aya Wilson situation following the highly publicized WNBA All-Star draft. And what she had to say is turning heads across the league and fan base. From the moment Clark made her All-Star pick, the basketball world erupted. And now, we got Clark's direct comments and what it means for her, Aya Wilson, and the future of the league. Let's rewind the tape just a bit. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game has been generating buzz for weeks now. This year's format features Team USA versus Team WNBA, with the non-Olympians playing against those headed to Paris. Caitlin Clark, despite leading the league in fan votes and putting up historic numbers, was not selected for Team USA, a decision that had fans in disbelief and sparked massive backlash across social media and sports media outlets. Instead, Clark was selected for Team WNBA, a roster filled with rising stars and snubs from the Olympic squad that included her Indiana Fever teammate Aaliyah Boston, as well as names like Eric Ogunbo, Dearica Hamby, and others. But here's where it got really interesting. Aya Wilson, the face of the Las Vegas Aces and Team USA co-captain, had been at the center of the Olympic selection process and was seen as one of the gatekeepers of the roster. And many fans believe that the snub of Clark was symbolic of a bigger rift between the WNBA's old guard and the new wave led by Clark. Fast forward to the WNBA All-Star draft, and Clark makes a move that's drawing both praise and criticism. When Caitlin Clark was asked about her pick for the WNBA All-Star team starting five, she made a surprising and pointed decision. She selected Aaliyah Boston first overall. Let that sink in. Aaliyah Boston, not Aya Wilson, not Eric, not any of the league's veterans, her college teammate, her current Indiana Fever running mate, her friend, and fans immediately started speculating that this was Clark's way of making a statement, of putting loyalty, chemistry, and team-first mentality over political narratives or league hierarchies. In doing so, she bypassed Aya Wilson, the reigning MVP frontrunner, whom many expected to be the top pick. But was it a snub, or was it a strategic decision? That's where things started heating up. Social media began blowing up with takes like, Caitlin Clark just told the world who she trusts. This is why the vets are mad at her. She plays by her own rules. She's building something new, and Aya better watch out. Even some WNBA players liked or commented on the posts, showing this wasn't just fan speculation. The league was paying attention. Now, here's where it takes another turn. Shortly after Clark made her pick, sources close to Aya Wilson reportedly expressed disappointment that Clark didn't prioritize the league's most dominant player in the selection process. Some interpreted this as shade. Others thought it was blown out of proportion. But let's be real, there's definitely tension. Whether it's about respect, status, or all-star hierarchy, Clark not picking Wilson sent a message. To be fair, Aya has always been known as a competitor and a leader, but she's also vocal about what she views as earned status in the league. She's made subtle digs in the past about players having to prove themselves and respecting veterans. So this move from Clark, in the eyes of many, might have felt like a challenge. The media only added fuel to the fire, with headlines like, Clark snubs Wilson in All-Star pick. Rookie versus vet feud heating up. Is Caitlin Clark disrupting WNBA hierarchy? And then, finally, we got what we were waiting for. Caitlin Clark addressed it all. In a post-practice interview with reporters in Indianapolis, Caitlin Clark was directly asked about the Aya Wilson situation, the All-Star pick, and whether there was any tension or message being sent. Here's what she said. Look, I have nothing but respect for Aya. She's one of the best players in the world. But for me, this wasn't about making a statement. It was about picking someone I battle with, someone I trust on the court, and someone who I know plays with the same heart I do. Aaliyah is that person. Clark continued, I think people want to turn everything into drama. But honestly, this league is full of amazing talent. Picking one player over another doesn't mean I'm dissing anyone. I pick someone I believe in. Boom. Classy, direct, and focused. But also, if you read between the lines, Clark didn't apologize. She didn't walk anything back. She stood firm in her choice, and that confidence is exactly why so many fans have fallen in love with her game and her personality. She's not trying to fit in. She's trying to win. After Clark made her comments, the reactions came in fast. Aaliyah Boston reposted the clip on her Instagram story with a simple caption, "Ride with who rides with you." Aya Wilson didn't comment directly, but did post a cryptic tweet that said, "We see everything." Bet. Eriko Gunbowl said in an interview, "That's the type of energy we need, loyalty, belief, and heart. Caitlyn's a real one." Meanwhile, sports analysts across networks debated whether this all-star process just further highlighted the growing divide in the WNBA between established veterans who feel like they've earned control and new stars like Clark who bring fresh eyes, massive audiences, and different values to the court. One ESPN commentator even said, "This isn't just about an all-star pick. It's about how power is shifting in the WNBA. And Clark's making it clear she's not just here to be liked. She's here to lead." So what does all of this mean? First, let's be clear. Caitlin Clark has become the most influential player in the WNBA, and she's doing her way. She's breaking attendance records, selling out arenas, leading the league in fan votes, and now shaping all-star rosters and narratives. Second, it signals that the WNBA's power structure is changing. Where once veterans dictated the rhythm, now rookies with massive platforms have a voice that carries just as much, if not more, weight. And third, this drama, if you want to call it that, is actually great for the league. It creates rivalries. It builds tension. It makes the all-star game more must-watch than ever before. People want to see Team USA face off against Team WNBA not just for the talent, but for the underlying storylines. Will Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston lead the underdogs to a win? Will Aya Wilson try to shut down the rising rookie and make a statement? Will the veterans finally accept Clark as one of their own, or keep the gate closed? Either way, we win as fans. So, where does Caitlin Clark go from here? Well, she's already shown the maturity and leadership of a veteran. Despite all the noise, and with her return to full practice and rising all-star momentum, it's clear she's not backing down from any spotlight. She's focused on improving, leading the Indiana Fever, and proving that she belongs in every conversation, including the Olympics, MVP race, and future league face. As for Aya Wilson, this only adds fuel to her fire. She's one of the most competitive athletes in the world. And if you think she's not going to use this as motivation to dominate in the all-star game, you don't know Aya. But here's the best part. This isn't personal. It's professional. It's competitive. It's high-stakes basketball with ego, pride, and legacy on the line. And that's exactly what the WNBA needs. That's it for today's deep dive on Caitlin Clark's response to the Aya Wilson news after the All-Star pick. Whether you think Clark made the right call or not, there's no denying she's changing the league. And she's doing it on her terms. Did Caitlin Clark send a message by picking Boston over Wilson? Is this the beginning of a WNBA rivalry that could define a generation? Or is it all being blown out of proportion? Smash that like button. Subscribe and hit that notification bell for more in-depth WNBA coverage.